Yeah. It's about that time, loved ones. It's about that time. Let me get this thing angled right. Yes, yes. Yeah. Making sure everything is in tip top notch. Shit ape. Get that right. Feel me? Get here. Uh. Oh, we got a special one today. We got a special one today. Today's our 21st episode of the Respectfully Great podcast. Super pumped, super ecstatic. I hope you are doing well out there in your lives today. It's always a pleasurable experience when we're able to come together and join at the hip in unison and share this comfortable space with one another, as far as being able to share a sentiment when it comes to who we are, what we stand for, continuously growth and development. And this is primarily the thing that we are doing here on the Respectfully Great podcast. So today, right now, um, tell somebody, tap in, whoever need to tap in with our special guest, myself today. It's gonna be a fun one. It's gonna be a growing one, intrinsic value one, something that we all can look back on and reflect and just learn and grow through, right? Grow through. So tell a friend and tell a friend. Hit them notification buttons. Send out the link to tell people that we are going live, that we are live right now on the Respectfully Great podcast. Turn this thing all the way up to the top, to the tippy top. So I'm super pumped, super ecstatic. When the guests that come on our platform are showing up in real time and being able to share their sentiment. And today we got a very, very special guest. We have someone uh that is a family member of mine, a loved one, someone that curated his craftsmanship, his skill sets, his business acumen, his entrepreneurship, education. Oh man, the list goes on and on. But I gotta do the proper introduction. You know, this is what we do over here, Respectfully Great. So I gotta give the proper introduction. So without further ado, let me just introduce my brother right. Some people chase dreams, others design them. Being one who creates has to think outside of the box. My special guest today is a brother of mine whose statements are stitched in the very fabric that he comes from. From graduating classes of education, music, credit, fashion, the list goes on. His blueprint is etched in a book of improvement. With a big round of respect, I'm proud to introduce to you a brother of mine, Shawn Brown, aka Shawn Breezavelli. Shawn Breezavelli. Let's bring my brother to the stage.
Hey, great introduction, man. Great introduction.
Yeah, love one.
Great
That's how.
introduction, bro. I like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Freddie. Yo, if they don't know, they have to know. And I think it's very, very important that we get them flowers very, very early on because people miss. They. Hold on, Johnny. Don't jump the gun. I'm jumping the gun already. I'm jumping the gun already because I'm super pumped and ecstatic. Um, Shawn Breezavelli. Yo, how about you just introduce yourself, man? Let people know who you are. Let's start there. Let's start there.
um, what's going on, world? What's going on, everybody? Um, I'm Shawn Breeze, aka Velli, aka Breezavelli.
Come on.
Sean Brown, whatever you want to call me.
Yes, sir.
Um, I'm the CEO of Breezavelli World,
Mm-hmm.
clothing brand I started in 2022. So it's been a journey. It's been taking off.
Absolutely.
Um, But yeah, I got a lot more substance than that. But that's just the basis of who I am. Real cool. Laid back
All
individual.
right.
You know, yeah, that's that for now. That's that
Yeah.
for now. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Absolutely.
I let the rest of the interview speak for itself.
Yeah. We gonna reflect. We going to reflect. So just
Yeah, for sure.
before we get there too, how are you feeling today? Most importantly, how you feeling
Oh, I'm
today?
good. I'm great. I'm great. I appreciate you asking.
Okay, beautiful
I'm great.
thing. Because I know one thing I love to prioritize is our mental health. Because we talk about these things, and sometimes it may go unnoticed. Raise my volume up. Oh, let me raise my volume up. I got the key. Let me raise this up. Yo, 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 yo. How we? Oh, let me see. How we doing right now? Yo, 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 yo. How we
Yo,
sounding? How we sounding? Got my moderator over there. She checking the
nah,
ones and
yeah,
twos.
nah. You
You
need
dig?
that. Yeah,
Absolutely.
great.
Sometimes we be off cue, and sometimes those extra eyes and ears help us complete our mission. And that's one of the things that I love to always be mindful of. A lot of times we turn away the helping hand, and those helping hands be the key components to our growth and our development. And with your situation of who you are, where you come from, the background, the entrepreneurship, the development, the education, there's so much that I would love to unpack that we're going to unpack. And I'm gonna start with the very beginning. I know I skipped over the part when I started to initially talk about the health and our mental state and why it's important.
Mhm.
I know it's understood amongst me and you, but I want the world to know that it's important always to check in on our brothers and our sisters. So when we get on here, it's more or less about showing the great sides of what we do, but mentally I want to make sure that we always tapped in and making sure we say, yo, hey, how you feeling today? Are you good? How your spirit? I want to make sure we ask those questions because a lot of times we can skip over that. We can look for the outside looking in, and since we smile, everybody thinks it's okay, but don't
Yeah,
know there may be things going on inside. So I just do this as a wellness check for everybody that come on the platform, myself included.
nah, facts.
You
I
dig?
appreciate that, bro. That's very important.
Absolutely. So let's take people back from the very beginning. You know what? Let me ask you this question. So when we say Shawn Breezavelli, the thing that comes to my mind, the Velli, I think about Max Bigavelli, right?
Facts.
Has Bigavelli had an influence on you curating the name Breezavelli? Just curiosity.
Yeah, so basically the name came from back when I was doing the music. I had a mixtape I was putting together and I was gonna call it Breezavelli World. I
Mm,
actually had one I put together called Breezavelli World. Then I had dropped the Breezavelli World too.
true
But
D.
when I did it the second time, I was like, yo, let me try to like attach some type of object to the mixtape to try to see if I can get the fans involved or people who support me involved more. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and do merch. I'm gonna do shirts. So I started with
Yes, sir.
shirts. Yo, I put the shirts together and I matched it with this tape I was with this next tape I was about to drop called Breezes Christ. And
Mm.
it was me on the cover with the with I had the green locks going with the halo with the thorns. It was a
Real
real it was a real controversial like cover.
true D.
So so when I was putting that together, I had just rushed some Breezavelli world some Breezavelli merch to go with the mixtape I was about to put out. I just rushed them.
Correct.
Yo, I put them out. I had people like buying that. Like I hate to say it, like the shirts was like gaining more like interest than the music was.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, cool. So after that, I pushed the Breezes Christ shirts. When I was
Correct.
pushing those, I put like a little more money into them, and I actually tried to sell those as a brand.
I
So
dig it.
once I did that, it successfully happened. I had 50 shirts. I was talking to my man's one day, and he was like, "Yo, if you can sell 50 shirts to niggas that got your face on it,
True
and
D.
they wearing this and they don't know you, he's like, bro, you can do the brand."
Absolutely.
So that's when I just came up with the name. Breezavelli World because I was so focused on that mixtape at the time.
True D.
I was like, yo, I'm gonna call the brand Breezavelli. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then Max B, of course, was definitely an influence on the name of the tape. You know
True
what I
D.
mean?
I
So
dig
yeah,
it.
that's just
That's fire to know, and that's super interesting because I thought about it, and I'm like, is it a play? But I'm like the wave. I'm
yeah,
like the culture. But the thing is, even when you talk about him as an entity and a brand, it's a certain nostalgia about the characteristics of that person. And I ain't
yeah,
gonna lie, there's so many similarities that I see even with you on how you curate and how you do your thing when it comes
facts.
to creativeness. It matches and it meshes well. So when of course I've known you my whole life, but
Yeah,
what I'm saying is when it comes to the brand and Breezavelli, when I thought about it, I'm like, well, where did the inspiration come from? So I had an inclination. Never even asked you this on our private time,
Yeah,
but I wanted the world to hear it because a lot of times we get these names, we get this brand that we standing on, we run it behind, and people want to know, well, where did this come from? And I love to give people the prequel to where you are now, and
yeah,
what was the thought process at the time. What I find interesting, before we take it all the way back, was this the first drop that you initially had? It was.
yeah. Are you talking about for
The shirts for the mixtape. Was this the actually the first drop of
Oh
clothing?
no! Yes, 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 yes. It was the first
Okay.
time I tried to like, yeah. It was very like it was cheaply made, but I would just kind of try to figure it out. But it was my first time like actually like doing it, and like yeah, it worked out. Definitely worked out lovely. So like when a lot of people ask me, especially with people who know about Max B, Max B is Biggie and Pac together, Big
Word.
Avell. I just took the big and just put Breeze and
Come
Breezavelli.
on.
That's what I did. So like,
Absolutely.
yeah, bro,
Absolutely. What
for
is dope
sure.
because Pude, he got the Wave King, and that's a
Oh
play
yeah,
on
facts.
Bigavelli. So Bigavelli,
Exactly.
the God style, like when you definitely if you're a northerner, right? Even though you reside in the ATL, but
Yeah,
even as a northerner coming up here from the Yiddy, a lot of times we hear the wave, the dips, they had heavy influence on
yeah,
our culture
facts.
when it comes to style, fashion, etc. So when you see Jim and everybody doing anything when it comes to fashion, Harlem is a hub in itself, as far as when it
Facts.
comes to getting drip. But now it seems like the culture is spread it around the whole world. So you got
Yeah,
people that's in London that has influence when you come to styles. You have people in Atlanta, California,
yeah,
everywhere around the world are connected through the social media. And I think that's something that's super key, because there's a point in time where social media wasn't as big or wasn't generated to where even though people had cell phones, but connected to the media, the social media. Now
yeah,
you get to
facts.
see so much influence and style that come from different places. So when I see that, I'm like, man, our culture, even the time and era that we grew up in, heavily influenced by the dips, Big
Yeah,
Avell,
word,
Stack Bundles. Bundles is
word.
heavily. I mean, just it's legendary, and it's pretty dope to see, because I see how it morphed into our own when it comes to the way we think, the way we curate, and the way we put things together.
That's a fact, bro.
When I want to, before we jump there, let's take them back, right?
Hmm.
um this bring us back to younger. Now
Okay.
when it came to music, because fashion is you know something that came after the fact. So
Yeah, yeah,
initially, even
facts.
before you even started to bring up uh uh merchandise, initially it was the piggyback off of the music.
Yeah,
When you were
facts.
younger, right? Were you involved in sports? Were you involved in music? Were you involved what was your thing when you were younger? Did you have a thing? Or
Um,
what was your influences?
I mean, I was always into music. I was always into I would say I was always into myself. Like I was always into like how I looked and like what I liked, and how can I put this? I was always into like I was always like particular about a lot of things, you know what I'm
Indeed.
saying? You know what I'm saying? Especially
Indeed.
when it came to like clothing, music for sure at a very
Absolutely.
young age. At a
Yeah.
very young age, you know what I'm saying? Sports, I played baseball a little bit, stuff like that. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
didn't play too much organized sports, but
Yeah.
um but as far as like doing the music, like I really didn't like branch out and like try to like start to, I would say, I guess, like be myself or be who I wanted to be until like
Mm.
I would say later on, like after like 15, 16. You know what I'm saying? I started to like try to like express myself a little more, differently. Especially with the way I dressed. That was the easiest way because
Yeah.
I didn't have to talk to anybody. You know what I'm
Correct.
saying? I could just, what I'm saying, I can even if it was crazy, I would like be like, yo, my hair, like I could wear this and like everybody would talk about it. I already
Yep.
know. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? It's
Yep.
a conversation piece, conversation starter. So it started with that for sure, for sure. And then the music kind of came like later on, like after high school, like when I got into college and stuff like that. I wish I would have started earlier. I say that, like no regrets or
Yeah.
nothing like that, but I
Yeah.
wish I would have started a little earlier because like, I see how much time it really takes. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And how much finesse you have to learn
For
to,
sure.
especially with time like changing with
Moving.
the
Yep.
with the internet.
Absolutely.
So like, but definitely like, individuality was definitely my thing at a young age. Very
That's
young
dope.
age, for sure.
I like that because a lot of people, it's hard to find themselves very early on. I know I was one of those children that always had a sense of self, But
Yeah.
being with the crowd,
Yeah.
that's what you normally do, just trying to fit in. And a lot of times when you see standout individuals, I remember um where I used to hear stories about Vernon, right? Um, he's more or less my father, my mother, and them age, but he said he used to separate himself because at the time, everybody this was early '80s, I would say.
Word.
He went to high school, etc. And he said what separated him when he used to go to school is that he used to go to school every day in suit, tie, briefcase, shoes. And it's
Mm.
crazy because you would think about it at the time, early 70s, they did a lot of suits when it came to like the culture, right? Everybody wore a lot of suits, etc. 60s, 70s was the, I think was the disco. 70s was the
Yeah.
disco.
Fact.
So like the 60s, they wore a lot of suits. 70 disco, 80, they did the fat laces, Run DMC thing. 90s, you had more Timbos, the rugged look, in the
Yeah.
early
Fact.
20s. So every time period had his thing. But the time where he used to go to school in a suit, tie, and a briefcase, everybody looked at him with a look like, okay, he might be a little ostracized, he might be a little outcast, but he separated himself from that. So when I hear that type of story and stand out, I'm like, Breeze is that. Because there's
Yeah.
things that you
Fact.
do even now that I watch and I see, you always having frames,
Yeah.
crazy stylish frames.
Yeah. Facts.
You
Facts.
have crazy belt game. Your belt game be legendary. You come with the
Facts.
crazy hat. Sometimes you got the big fluffy joints. You
Yeah.
have all
Facts.
different
Facts.
all different variations of style, and that's one of the things that keeps me interesting because I think you're an interesting person. And I mentioned this last time on a podcast about people being so interested in other things that it makes them really interested. So when you have a nostalgia style, it shows that things you draw inspiration from a lot of things. What
Yes.
are some of the things you do draw inspiration from?
Um. I guess I would say like being mysterious,
Mm,
like in a way. Like I get a lot of people. I'm not gonna lie. Like I get a lot of people I meet, and like they see me on Instagram, or people we've been following each other on Instagram for like months or like years or whatever, and then like they
correct.
see me in person, and they like, yo, yo, like I can't put the two together. Like you just like what you give on Instagram is so different than like what it is in person. But it's
For
just
sure.
like in my eyes, it's how you work the internet because people, like you said, are more interested in like what like what they feel they know. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying?
so true.
They show the most interest in that. Like people be like, yo, I don't know where you live. I don't know
Yep.
what you do.
Yep.
I don't know anything. I just be seeing you on Instagram
Fleed
just
up.
living life. Yeah. So
Absolutely.
like yeah, that's definitely like I definitely feed off that. Like it definitely keeps people interested in whatever you're doing. It
Yeah.
makes like it can make no sense to like to like the average person, but it's just like the more you show, the more of what you have going on goes upward because people are like
Mm,
just tap people are nosy. People are just tapping in,
for sure.
trying to see like what's going on. You know what I'm saying? That's why like
True.
I say like on Instagram, the only things that really go up are like accomplishments,
Yeah.
like births, deaths, like stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
those are the things that people like really really pay attention to and feed into.
Yeah. I think a
So
lot of
like
times when they do that, it's because of they get that dopamine hit. I think
yeah,
when people get them likes, they show that there was a correlation between the stimulating the brain as if you get a dopamine hit for when people have like when people start to like your comments, like your videos, etc.
yeah,
So I think people really get drawn, like you said, to the attachment of saying things that get the most reaction out of people. Some people do
yeah,
super outlandish shit. Some people do
yeah,
things to where it's like, okay, there's a death, people gonna mourn, so people always feel sympathy. So
yeah,
they're
yeah,
gonna hit
yeah.
that button.
Facts,
You know what I mean? So
facts.
when you say that, that's what drew my attention to like,
Yeah.
mm,
Yo, bro, when I be seeing niggas online incriminating themselves and doing all type of stuff like that, it's crazy to say, like, yo, like, I be kind of understanding, like, what
yeah,
they're trying to do. I'm like, yo,
yep,
you're trying to just have eyes on you and what you have going on because you,
yep,
like, you're trying to be this type rap nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like,
correct,
I get it. It's definitely, like, manipulative, but,
yeah.
you know what I mean? But it works.
Yeah, it works. The thing is too, it could work in a positive way or a
Oh,
negative
yeah.
way.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
For
For sure.
sure. So now, we think if we thinking about, I always bring it back to children, right? Because I love kids in the sense that kids are
Yeah.
innocent, and I know that we were once children, And I know we once were finding our way when we were younger. Of course, still finding our way, niching our way, and curving our way into, etching that stone throughout life, and leaving our legacy behind by the things we do, even of like now. So when I think
Yeah.
about children, I'm like, okay, to what extent you dealing with children that doesn't have fully developed brains. So if they looking for that attention before, kids used to act out, class, etc. At home life ain't right, school ain't right, or whatever's going on. You just see this kid acting out because we all have seen it. We may have been those children. We have may seen those other children, etc. So when you see this pattern within children and he's just acting out, we like, okay, this child really needs some level of attention. They can get
Yeah.
it from whoever cares enough to have that conversation with that child, figure out what's going on, and they could be developed great children for the rest of their lives if they be able to have that conversation and get over whatever frustrations that they have. The thing
Facts.
is, now you have in media where we see people as adults don't know how to handle their frustration. So you have a
Facts.
mentality of a child that's in a grown man or woman body, but
Uh-huh.
acting out their frustration as if they're a child. And it makes me wonder, like, well, what happens if we start displaying, like, we see people, like you said, how far people go for the attention. They
Yo.
they off themselves, try to off people,
Yeah.
crazy stuff.
Yeah.
What happens
Exploiting
when
themselves.
yeah, they exploit themselves.
Yeah.
What do we do to help and try to prevent? What I'm saying to myself, but the question I ask to myself all the time is like, if we displaying this stuff as adults, what do you think the child is going to do that don't even have the capacity to rationalize? They
Yeah.
just see
Facts.
act and they say, okay, in order to alleviate the pain or the frustration, this is one option. It makes me think, like, what are we coming to? Because I know the influences of social media, other individuals,
Mhm.
adults, people that we idolize, because we got this idol worship thing where
Yeah.
we
For
idolize
sure.
people, right? So some of these things just make me wonder. I was listening to something from Charleston White. It's crazy because I've been like binge watching some of his content, because before, out of all of the years that he been out, I never really paid that close attention because I always paid attention to the antics for what people quote unquote said about the man. Then when I started to listen to him, I'm like, oh, he has a clear message. And one thing he said that you said too early on is that how people has a certain level of mystique when they see you online and they meet you in person. It's two kind of different persons, still the same person, but
Yeah.
it's two different characters. Like,
For
see,
sure.
it's like you're not a like, people don't know. Even from our conversation, you more laid back, more mellow,
Yeah.
more
For sure.
chill, more
For sure.
vibey. Online, it looked like, yo, rock star. That's just the
Yeah.
image, because
Yeah.
the ambiance you carry.
Yeah, facts. I get that a lot. Niggas be
You
like, yo, like, yo, you give off like a dangerous type. I'm like, bro, like, nah.
far from that.
Yeah, nah. Yeah, for sure. For
Yeah,
sure. But I
but
definitely get that a lot.
absolutely. So what makes me draw the connection when I was saying with Charleston White, he said something that stuck out like a sore thumb about his content. He said, when I come online, I am a character. I'm like, huh? He said, when I come online, I'm a character. He said for 12 years, he tried to do youth development programs, 501, 501 nonprofit organizations, etc. So for 12 years, he kept targeting children because he was a troubled child. His brother spent 31 years in prison. Himself,
Yeah.
he was on trial at the age of 14 with three other gentlemen facing life in prison, etc. So he knows what being in that seat feel like. Case got overturned, etc. He still spent time in juvenile, etc. But what he said was, when he came to talk to the youth and try to get his message across on all platforms, the media, White House, etc., he came suit and tie, and he felt like he wasn't really getting heard. He said when he started doing the antics online, it started to click, and now he's world renowned to everybody's Googling Charleston White for the outlandish things that he say.
Yeah, facts.
But he learned how to cut. He learned how to cut he like to give the baby the medicine with the, how do you say it? Feed him the medicine with the don't, I forgot how they say it. But you spoon feed, you give them the medicine like with the candy or something like that.
Yeah,
Something along
facts,
those
facts, facts,
lines.
facts.
And I
Okay.
feel like when we come on, we got to be transparent in who we are. But I think that in order to tap into the algorithm and audiences, you got to figure out a way to give people what they want to a degree. Being yourself, but also having that factor about you that's like, did you see or hear what such and such said? So sometimes we got to be able to play a role in order to get to and from. And I'm learning throughout life, just my own experience. Like depending on where you want to go, you got to show up and act in accordance to that. Meaning, like,
Yes.
okay, you know what I mean? Have you ever felt like, okay, for you, educated brother, graduated from college,
Right.
when you was in school, how did you show up when you was in school in college? Was education a primary thing?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Because growing up, I mean, my mom kind of made it to me that like, yo, like you don't really have like no choice but to go to college after you finish this. Like, like what I'm doing now with the whole business stuff like that, it wasn't really an option or like a thought of mine. I was like, all right, cool. When I get out of here, I'm gonna go to college. I'm gonna start applying to all these colleges and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
So, for sure when I got there, it was definitely like a priority. Then I went to HU Hampton up
Yes.
in up in Virginia,
Solid.
and it was definitely it's a HBCU, it's a private school, but that first year is definitely more strict than the next three. So like
Mm,
it's definitely it wasn't really easy to mess up because I mean it is because you
yeah.
got your freedom, you a freshman, but we have like a lot of stipulations like curfew and like all type of stuff.
Yeah.
So like that first year was definitely important to me. Second year too, I was definitely like, feeling myself a little bit, kind of like, used to being in college, guard kind of down, So like when I got to like my junior year, that's when stuff really started to get tough. Like I buckled down for real like that because I started
yeah.
to like really see people get up out of there. And I was like,
Hmm.
yo, I gotta do what I gotta do to get up out of there. So I made it happen, bro. I made it happen for sure.
I'm proud of you for that because a lot of times in our community, like we don't celebrate that. So we think the way is just strictly rapping, doing the business thing, entrepreneurship now,
Yeah.
but people don't understand how important education is because education, regardless of what's going on, you being an educated person is going to aid you throughout life. No matter what circumstance you come up against, you'll be able to be bigger than a problem. You can problem solve. So
Yeah,
having that
facts.
educational background is very, very key. And I feel like promoting that through our community, right? Minorities, etc., and people in general, getting your education is primary. And it's one of those things where uh my nephew, Didi's son, is going to college, he's about to go to St. John's. And I'm like, I talked to him real nonchalant, real humble, just laid back, just his character. And smart kid. But I say to him all the time, apply yourself because although you may, regardless of what's going on, even if you decide not to use the field of expertise where you're going in and graduated to get your degree in, you having that background still give you some legs to stand on. No matter what you go out there
Facts.
and do in life, you still got
Facts.
legs under you. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Just curiosity. If there's something that you could aid him and just tell him, even though he'll see this in due time, what was
Yeah.
something that you would tell him to do? He going in there as a freshman, starting in September. What would you tell him, as far as like your experience in going through that transition from graduating and just going through the things? What's something that you would
Okay.
advise him on?
Okay, well, I'll give him, my experience and then some advice that he could use.
Please.
So for sure, I went to school away for sure. Like my mom was telling me, like, yo, like you're going to school away. You're going somewhere else where you're gonna be around people in a different area, you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Because she wanted me to be like well rounded. So like
Absolutely.
I did that and like, I didn't want to do it at first because I wanted to be in state. I didn't want to be, far away, but because the
Right.
idea of that was kind of spooky to me so young.
Yeah.
So when I did it after that first year, I definitely appreciated, her for doing that, for pushing me to do that because
Absolutely.
like I look back on it and I'm just like, yo, like I'm glad that I was able to go somewhere else
Hmm.
and get an education and go through that, mom and dad are like miles away, like
Yeah.
on the plane.
True.
But definitely for his freshman year, I would definitely tell him, definitely apply yourself,
Yeah.
definitely focus up. If you can, take a full load of classes
Got it.
because that will give you the room to we don't want to wish mistakes, but it'll give you room to make those young mistakes if you
Hmm.
have full load. Because if you don't have a full load and you're making failing having to retake this class, having to retake, you're going to see yourself taking longer to get out.
Absolutely.
You know,
That's
I
dope.
had a biology I had a biology degree, so like it definitely was hard chasing that. You
Yeah.
know, so it took me 5 years. I had to
Mhm.
sit out for a year
Yeah.
for sure. But it's definitely tough. But just stay focused, yo. The freshman year is definitely the most fun year for him. He's gonna definitely enjoy that. You know, he's gonna definitely learn a lot about himself
That's dope. Yeah, I'm
for
proud of you. I
sure.
appreciate that because your boy, I went there too. I went there for 2 years. Your boy ain't graduate. Your boy was out there. I was doing too much. I was doing too much.
Man,
So I have all the insight to stay focused. So I know
yeah,
somebody that actually went through it, graduated, and you have done it with the level of honor and prestige that
yeah,
you can come back to your community with, to your family and for yourself because you know you got to big up yourself. Give yourself the work that you have put in. A lot of
yeah,
times we get fed to the water and some people won't drink. And it's a beautiful
yeah,
thing that you come from a background of a lot of entrepreneurship, a lot of business, a lot of
yeah.
strong willed and education. Your mother just finished graduating. Round of applause to Mama Love.
Oh
Hold on,
yeah,
some round of
facts,
applause.
facts,
Some
facts,
more of
facts,
that.
facts,
Gotta
facts,
get some
facts,
more of
facts.
that. So
Facts.
what
She
I
done
want
went
to
all the
highlight
way.
is, come on, the beauty is that not only is she promoting and telling you to go in that direction, but she's the advocate of her own words, and that's powerful when your word is your bond. When you're able to
Word.
speak upon something and actually go out there and seek it through. A lot of times, us as people, as children, and people in general, a lot of times we don't focus on what people say, but more or less what people do. So when you become an actionary person and people lead by action, although the talking is talking points and keynotes, but when you see people stand on their word and when they say something, they actually do it. That's what most people pay attention to. So
Yeah,
being
fact.
able to have those influences around you, like even in your background, you have um, so much within your family. And I'm gonna bring this up too. You have your brother V Man,
Yeah, facts.
right?
V
V
man.
Man is a special young man because he
Facts.
has a mind that can conquer the world for his innovation. He's an
Yeah, word.
innovative person from producer, rapper, creative, visionary. I watch him and I'm like, V Man is special, man. V is
Yeah,
special,
facts.
very special. And I know that I got commonality when it comes to music. So I
Yeah.
know when y'all come together with that, how's that experience been with you and V Man when it came to music?
Yo, honestly, it was crazy. At first it was weird on the comfort level because we so far apart in age,
True.
and I didn't want to be doing too much, around him or whatever the
Yeah.
case may have been. But yo, everything came out crazy. Like the first time we did something, like yo, it was just like I didn't even expect for it to sound like it did, to come out like it
Yeah.
did, to get the reaction. Then we did something else. Then we did something else. Then we did something else. Then we did a tape. No, we didn't do a tape. We was gonna do a tape,
Correct.
and then we did a video. We did a video,
Mm.
his first video,
Yep.
and I kind of like helped make that happen, and it definitely was cool. He came to the A.
Yep.
Yeah, we was outside. We definitely did it. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
that's special. You know, it's dope because I know having that bond and that support when it comes to music, when it comes with a loved one, it's so ill because me and Pooh, we crazy because we went down to Texas. We go down to Texas, it was South by Southwest. Who do we
Facts.
bump into in Texas? We bump into
Facts.
Breezavelli. So we go down
Facts.
there and we like, hold up. We down here in South by Southwest, Texas vibing. The whole stay down there, we link up and we down there, we doing our thing, 1, 2, move
Yeah.
around, shaking. And it was a movie.
It was a movie. That shit was ironic how that shit happened, bro. How that
So
shit happened.
crazy,
That shit
right?
that shit was beautiful. I would do that shit again.
Absolutely, hell yeah! It was so dope, and that experience of being able to be around loved ones when you so far away too. Like my first time, that was my first time going to Texas, so it's
Mine
like,
too.
word, that's crazy. How ironic is that, right?
Yeah.
First time experience, and you got people that you know. Not saying that no matter who you with, because you with your people, so you always gonna have the love and support. But then I know what felt good. I know my brother had my back, but I know when you was there, I'm like, okay, I got another person that's with me that got my back the same way that my brother got my back, and I felt comfort.
Yeah.
I
Facts.
felt real comfortable knowing like not looking for anything to happen, just saying that okay, we here together and we moving as one
Yeah.
unit. I
We
think it was very,
good.
very
And we
special.
good. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
We was good.
it was good. Word up, man. The homie counted up. The guard, I fuck with the guard.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. My boy Cartel. Yeah, man. I had just
Cartel,
seen him a few
legendary.
weeks ago. Yeah, if you see him a few weeks ago, he coming back out here soon.
Absolutely. When you see the guard, tell him send my love. I see him on the gram and all that stuff, but you see him in person, tell him
Yeah.
his number, unlimited love. That was big love down there. He was moving
Yeah.
and
Facts.
shaking.
Facts, bro.
Absolutely. When I'm talking about the family dynamic, I still want to bring this up, right? Because you and V Man got that crazy bond. When I look like with Corin, right? And I see
Yeah.
how he got his own business and entrepreneurship, and he does the restoration. And I
Yeah.
and we had him on here about 3 weeks ago, and I'm looking at the dynamic of your family, and I'm like, this is something that can be promoted for generations. When you have a mindset within your family, coming down from mama love to pops being the serial entrepreneur he is when it comes to real estate, um, government contracting, when it comes to uh, 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 his business,
Yeah.
the amount of employees from the just coming from an entrepreneurship, hustle and bustle, educated background. When I look at everybody in your family, your immediate family, and I watch how the growth and the development that you guys had from passed down from the examples that were set forth. I feel that is so important on being able to each one teach one. And your moms and your pops did an excellent job doing that, passing down the vision from
I
what they
appreciate
do to
that.
y'all. And I want to just make sure that I give the flowers in the right manner in due time, because I think it's important that we see, definitely when you're dealing with black families, you're dealing with minorities, you're dealing with other, you know, but I say us and minorities because a lot of times we don't see us stick together. A lot of times you don't see friends, let alone family. Family, have the most issues when it comes to ideologies, viewpoints, etc. And a lot of
Yeah.
times we get occasionally, because there are times I go out with me and babe bro, me and sis, whoever. I know I have that dynamic, but the thing is that unconditional love is what we always gonna spread amongst one another, and we gonna love each other until eternity. But the thing is, when you see us come together, when we come together, we form like Voltron, and then we able to still step out there on our own and still do our own thing in the areas where we want to learn and grow in. I think is a beautiful attribute that we can constantly pass down, because you see in other communities, you come to other people, you see when I name it all the time, you see Hispanics. One time I was listening, I forgot who was saying it, but they were saying that there was some Hispanics that was working on this guy's house, and he said one thing he noticed when the guys was working on this house is that when they sat down and had lunch, that they all ate together and they all ate at the same time, and it made me think about how fellowship forms. So a lot
Yeah.
of times, like when you eat with a person, you build a different type of bond. When you take time out and y'all got the same type of regimen and schedule, when you break bread with somebody, you build a different type of bond. And when you can see that in other cultures, in other religions, religious sects, et cetera, it made me think about how we build within our own community and our own homes. And I know, seeing how the dynamic is structured within yours, of course everybody do their own thing,
Yeah.
but
Facts.
to have, okay, you doing business, music,
Yeah.
credit, got your own lane. See Corin doing his own thing, got his own business, got his own clean, got his own thing rolling. Mama Love doing
Yeah.
her own thing, brother V, everybody, it's dope to see, and I
Yeah.
love to
It's crazy.
highlight the family dynamic.
I appreciate that. Nah, it is crazy that we all kind of went into like a different direction, but we all kind of are, tapping into our niche and stuff like that. But for
Yeah.
sure, like my dad loves what I'm doing. He was never against me going to college, but he never really, like was like, yo, you going to college. He used to always, I remember being younger, he used to always be like, yo, you don't want to be a businessman? You don't want to be a businessman? I used to be like,
Mm-hmm.
nah, I'm trying to be a dentist. Yo. I'm trying to be a doctor. I used to tell him that all the time.
True
But
indeed.
now, but now, like as I got older and started to like see how like I started to understand how like money flow worked. Then I
Mm.
started to try to like, excuse me. Then
Yep.
I started to try to like like apply that to like business and like product. So like it just works. It's working. And like
It's
I
working.
know he likes it. He loves to talk about it. Every time we talk about it, like he's definitely all ears every time.
That's a beautiful thing. How does it feel that to know that you have that support?
Oh, definitely. It definitely feels good. It's definitely comforted coming from like someone like my dad, and because like
Yeah.
his business is definitely successful. He's definitely
Yeah. He
like
emmed
he's like
up.
that's what I look
He
at.
one of
Like
them ones.
I'm exactly. I'm trying to be able to move like that. Like
Straight up.
what I'm saying. Like my view of success as a man is not like how much money he got. It's like a man who can do what he want, how he want, when he wants.
Mm,
That's success to me. I want to be able to do that because a lot of us can't move like that.
nah,
You know,
not at all.
So it doesn't take money to do that.
Nope.
But that's my goal. That's what I
Right.
want. Like that's my goal in life. I want to be
That's
able
powerful.
to be able to do what I want, how I want, when I want to do it. You know.
Yeah, I like that. That's dope. I like that. These is, you know what? Why I like to expound on these things, because I know these are skill sets that can be learned. And I know that you having a voice that you have, right? Being able
Yeah.
to spread your message from your experiences, that's your testimony. And I feel like even what we're doing now, it's beauty in finding, okay, how did you get to where you are? And I love sharing that story, because a lot of times people think you just poof popped out of nowhere, and not knowing the history of who you are, where you came from, and what you took to get to where you are. So although we see social media one thing, and sometimes the things we speak about may be another, but to see the journey. And
Hmm.
I love to highlight the journey, because a lot of times, even when I hear successful people talk, like you said, even pops, it may not just be the money. Money is one component of the success, but him getting to where he had to get to, it was the path that which he took, and what he
Right.
learned along that way, and the man he became along that journey, which enabled
Right.
him to do it all over again if he had to, because he know
Facts.
what it would take. Because a lot of times we think that, okay, inherit the money, cool, you get the money. Somebody that don't know how to have money management could blow the bag. So then
Yeah.
once the money's gone, if you don't know how to acquire it, how would you able to be successful again? So when I hear stories of people that had the money, lost the money, had the money, lost the money, and they go
Yeah.
through the ups and downs, it just shows that, okay, this person's willing to take a risk. Sometimes some things work, some things don't work. But the thing is being able to get back up and still try new innovative things to lead you down a path to say, you know what, I can yield a return on this. I may not see the return as of today. I know if I plant this seed today, though, tomorrow it may be some fruit that bear from it. And
Yeah.
it's one
Facts.
of the things I
Facts.
see that you have done along your journey. People may not see it, but you planted the seed in education. You planted the seed in music. You planted the seed in building an internet persona. You planted the seed in now morphing into dealing with credit consultations.
Yeah.
How,
Facts.
I,
Facts. Facts.
and it was so crazy, right? I didn't even know that you tapped into that lane either until
Yeah.
somebody else
Yeah.
told me, like, yo, no, he helped fix mine. And I'm like,
Yeah.
wait, what? What's going
Yeah.
on here?
Word.
So it's like
Word.
you when you say mystique, when you said earlier about having that mystique when people see you on a fashion note, I think
Yeah.
having mystique is part of your character and who you are as a person, because there's
Word.
certain things you do is real subtle, real clever, and it's like
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
you know, you know, that's the thing.
Facts. Facts. You got to do it. Yeah, you always got to be like that. And out of sight, out of mind is cool too. And another thing I tell people, especially with doing music and clothes, you could apply it to both.
Yeah,
Yo, playing the tough, like playing that tough guy role, like that shit really does not get you nowhere
nowhere.
because yeah, it really doesn't. Because if you're not approachable, or if people don't feel like they could like relate to you or feel like they could fuck with you a little bit, they're not going to. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So like, I've had a nigga tell me like, yo, like Breeze, like bro, like I've been rapping half my life, and like I could say that you've been around more rappers that really rap,
facts.
famous rappers than I've met in my life or been around in my life. And you really be around these niggas like
Mm-hmm.
constantly. And I was like, yeah, bro, that just comes from just me being not like just being approachable, just being mysterious
Ooh,
and approachable. You
I
know what I
like
mean? At,
that.
at all times.
I like
So
that
like
term.
that definitely opens doors for me a lot. Cause I be in rooms with a whole bunch of niggas I probably shouldn't be around. But I
Yeah,
mean it's just part of the vision. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm
for
like,
sure.
okay, I got these clothes, I got this package of clothes for this artist. I need to be able to be around these niggas for a little bit so I can get to him and talk to him. Then I get at
Absolutely,
it. But in the midst of that,
absolutely.
sometimes some shit be dangerous. Some shit just
Yeah,
it'd be a lot,
it'd be a lot, but that's a risk that you take, and one of those things
Yes.
that it comes with the territory. So a lot of times,
Yes.
you know, they say closed mouths don't get fed, scared money don't make no money. So sometimes we
Yeah.
got to go into
Facts.
unfamiliar territory in order to open up some of those doors. And I've seen that you've done that, which is so dope, because I watch you and nephew Kyrie. I watch how y'all so connected to
Word.
socialites and connected to the
Yeah.
industry, because y'all right there, like right in the middle of it, and it's so dope
Yes.
because I watch y'all, and it's like I don't see no separation. Just being
Nah.
fully
Facts.
transparent, because you're in the
Word.
same rooms. So a lot of times when you're in the same rooms, like what Bones and Eliana say with their consulting business and their credit repair, they say get in the room, get in the room, and
Yeah.
that makes me
Word.
think. Yeah, so it makes me think about, like, if you in the room, there's unlimited potential and possibilities that can curate from that conversation. You're only one conversation away from that
That's
one
it.
thing.
That's it. You got to
The
be in the room.
got to be in the room. And I was watching even my brother Raul when he was on here, and he was speaking about how he got his merchandise out too when he did some of the pop-up shops, and they doing the brand things when they
Word. Yeah.
like magic, etc. When they have these conventions, and being in those spaces, it gives people, and like the thing is, if people don't know you exist, how you expect to get paid? So first you got to be able to
Exactly.
show up,
Yeah, I be
you know,
telling you that. Yeah, you got to
from
put a
one
face
level
with a
one.
name. These people got to put a face with a name. You know what I mean? Like
Absolutely.
for sure. Like they got like yo. Even when I'm chilling, well, me and my niggas step out and we go outside. We get a section. You know, we get the
Yep.
bottles and shit like that. You know how they bring the signs out. Yo, I'm
Yeah.
putting Breezavelli on the sign. Like yo,
Absolutely.
like y'all going to keep seeing this name
Everywhere.
all the time. And people be coming up to me in the club, bro, like, yo, oh, yo, you the Valley nigga. Oh, you the Valley nigga. I've had somebody come up to me like, yo, oh, you the nigga that do the credit. Yo, I've seen you
Yep.
before. I'm
Yep.
like, yo, this is crazy.
It's crazy.
It's crazy how it's just like it's almost like a virus. Once
Yep.
it gets to the right person, it's just
Spreading.
yeah. And then
Absolutely.
Atlanta's like it's like a black hub. So
Yeah.
you know, everybody. That's how it's so easy. It's not. I wouldn't say easy, but that's how it's. You have a higher possibility to running into people. You know
Yeah.
what I mean, and getting things
Absolutely.
into people's hands who you may see on higher on these big platforms and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
You know, so definitely, it's definitely cool.
That's dope. I love to see it. The network. They say your network is your. They say your network is your
It's your
net
best
worth.
work.
Yep.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yep.
your net
It,
worth. Yeah, for sure.
absolutely. And I love it. I love it. I love it. It just shows that there's so much that we can do. And the thing is too, when you said about Atlanta and the hub, right? I like to listen and pinpoint some of these things. A lot of times we don't get to see that in our own backgrounds. We from the Yiddy, right? So
Yeah,
we go out and we can bump into people all over. But being from the island, a lot of times that they're not. We don't. Okay, we Ashanti is from the town, right? So we know
right.
Ashanti. But far as being in some of these other places, we don't bump into them as often. Even though when we go out, we know we all be in the same spaces. But it seems like Atlanta is so big but so small, and it seems
Facts.
like everybody in black excellence is
Yeah,
there. And to see that, I know even predominantly from our environment, I've seen Italians, I've seen Arabic, I've seen all races of people do their thing, but you don't see much black minorities on that level of black excellence if it didn't come
facts,
from a street element. So
facts. And that's
what I
crazy you say that.
yeah, talk about it.
Yeah, I be definitely I tell people that they be like, yo, like why you like Atlanta so much? Like what is it about Atlanta? And I was like, yo, I love New York. I'm not gonna lie, but it's
Yeah.
like when you out here, it's a lot of people that look like me and you that's having
Up.
motion, bro. That's up. That's
They got
really like
motion. Yep.
I don't know how they obtained it. I don't know
Yeah.
what they're doing.
Yep. Yep.
I have no idea. But I can just tell you they some young niggas. They look like you and I,
Get into
and
it.
yeah, they hopping out of lamb chops and cyber trucks and all
Come
types. Like
on.
I don't know what's going on, but you see a lot of that. You feel me? You see a lot of that. Definitely these mansions. I used to drive and go like you know just sightseeing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Drive through the nice neighborhoods out here, and I used to see like you know black people outside in the yard and stuff like that. I used to be like
Absolutely.
that's cool. It's definitely motivational for sure,
Oh
for
man, super
sure.
dope. Right now,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get to one of our sponsors. We're gonna hang tight. If it's here, let me see. I don't see it. Is it here? May not have it here. Let's see. Don't have it here. Not uploaded. All good. We'll get back to it in a little bit. All good.
Okay.
So what I started to do is I started to create my own ads. So that's why I was looking for it. So what I've been doing is just learning entrepreneurship and learning as I go. So one of the things that I primarily love to do is that I like to be a person of action. So when I see
Yes.
things and I love to implement them as I go, because we don't have all of the answers. But one thing that I learned is that we get perfection through error. So a lot of times things go wrong. Sometimes we have to fight through the wrong thing to figure out, okay, this didn't work. Let me try this for the next go around or do something opposite. And then next thing you know, that's the key to open up the door. So what I try to be a practitioner of, okay, whatever I did last time that worked, let's continue to do that. And the more steps I feel like being at 1% better every day is that we initially get to that 85% or 95%, etc. Steve Jobs said something that of course he passed, right? But Steve Jobs the guy Kevin O'Leary, the one that works on Shark Tank, he said something about Steve Jobs because he used to work under Steve Jobs and he used to do all of his create his courses. He did coding for him. He did a bunch of things and worked under Steve Jobs for a bunch of years. And he said, well, quote unquote, people call Steve Jobs an asshole, right? And he said, well, what was it about him just made him so efficient? And he said that when he was a practitioner of he had something he called the 80-20. Well, 80-20. And his 80-20 was they got the book of the Pareto principle, 80-20, etc. But his was
Word.
more or less about signal to noise ratio. So when he was talking about signal to noise ratio, he was saying that what Steve Jobs focused on was he focused on really blocking out the noise and the distractions. Because a lot of
Yeah,
times people are so distracted that they can't never get anything done. So what he did
yeah,
was he said that what he did was he said his signal to noise ratio was about 80-20. 80% signal, meaning like continuous focus throughout his whole life, 80% focus, and about 20% distraction. And he said, well, how does somebody become to be able to do that? And he said he came up with like with a method that Steve Jobs came up with, and he called it the 18-hour method, right? And he said the 18-hour method is where Steve Jobs will focus on the 3 to 5 most important things that he have to do in an 18-hour period. So every 18 hours, he have 3 to 5 things that he had to get done, and he won't stop until those things get done within that 18-hour period. And they said it made him so efficient over the time in his years that he was able to block out 20. He was able to block out 80% of the distraction by focusing on signal, just constantly being busy, knocking out, doing what he got to do,
yeah.
and 20% of the noise. And it made me think about these things when it comes to how we do things. I know for
Facts.
me, it's a struggle at times maintaining focus, and this is something that gives me this outlet of being able to do this every week, being able to show up every week is a testament to
Word.
who I want to be
Word.
on a consistent basis. Because I know, okay, if my struggle being consistency, what is my excuse going to be when they say, okay, today's Thursday, Johnny, you ain't show up? So now I get some of the accountability. I'm putting accountability on myself, but I know there are people looking forward to what we do right now. So
Facts.
if
Word.
you make this thing public, like, yo, this is what I'm doing now, accountability kicks in. So now I'm like, okay, how do I start blocking out some of the noise? Now, even now, when I come to just trying to figure out like editing things, trying to figure out to put my video up, all of these small things um requires time. So
Yes.
if I miss out, like I'm filling up my schedule more. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
is I have no choice but to do the work, or nothing won't come out. I won't be able to put out the video I get from Opus Clips. I won't be able to broadcast or promote the interviews. I won't be able to do these things. So it forces my hand to kind of black out some of the noise. And I'm like, okay, if I continuously just be able to get to a place where I'm just highly focused on what I'm focused on, I know that the doors will open up tremendously. And I know a
Word.
lot of times when we do things, it's not because we don't have the capability. It's just that we just lack the focus because we distracted doing every other thing.
Yeah. Facts. Facts. That's definitely you onto something, bro.
Word is born. Have you ever felt like distraction been one of those things that slowed up for you, like when it came to progress? Have you ever felt like, okay, my back was against the wall, I was dragging my feet with a particular thing, or I wanted to get to a particular place and I just didn't hit that button quick enough, and things just bypassed or timing?
Oh yeah. Oh for sure. Definitely. Yo, with the clothes, very much so often because the clothes is seasonal. Um,
Mm.
with the music, for sure, because I was when I was doing the music, I started doing the music while I was in school. I was in college, so it was definitely like a lot of prioritizing with that and like mentally telling yourself like, yo, I want to drop this by this time, and then this shit coming up and like you having to push this back and like it just messes your focus up, and then you're not getting no money off of the music, so you really like what. But yeah, definitely for the clothes, definitely it's hard to keep up with the seasons because
Mm-hmm.
everything you everything you're gonna put out is not gonna be the one. Everything you try to put out is not gonna be it's not gonna be a hit. It's kind of like music. That's why it's kind of easy for me because I was doing the music so long and then the clothes. And it's just like a couple of my tactics that I do have that I go by daily for sure. Like my phone and everything on my clocks around me, they definitely are in like military time. Just
Ah,
because I tell myself that, all right, if that clock says 13:14 and I haven't really done that much, that means like yo, like it's like 10 hours left in the day. You know what I'm saying? It's like the day is almost
Absolutely.
over, and I haven't really done much. It's just like a mental thing,
Yeah.
for me to like stay moving and stay like keep my mind working. Whether I'm posting my credit or whether I'm posting clothes or whether I'm just posting lifestyle stuff like that. Just
Yep.
it all matters. You know what I mean? Or whether I'm DM diving, bothering people, or trying to either do the promotional code for the clothes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm the type of dude like I don't really like my dad told me he was like, yo, sometimes you could plan yourself. You can
Mm.
over plan yourself out of a plan. You can keep
Ooh.
planning and keep planning and keep planning and just keep
Ooh.
planning and keep planning and it'll just never happen. Like he was like sometimes you have to like it kind of plays on like what you said about making mistakes. He was like sometimes you gotta run full speed
Yep.
until you hit something and see where you went wrong. You know what I mean?
Mm.
With an idea. And then like you'll be able to he was like it may hurt a little harder, but it's process instead of
Yep.
you just planning yourself out of a plan. You know what I mean? You always use a
Planning yourself out of plan. I'm taking that note.
yeah,
Yep.
definitely.
You know what's crazy? I was listening to a dude named Sean Cannell on Think
Mhm.
Media, right? And similar to what your pops was saying, um, Sean Cannell was saying that start before you're ready. And I was thinking about it, I'm like, what do you mean? And I was trying to like comprehend it, but he's like, start when you're ready. Then he explained it. Like a lot of times, like we over prepare. We think that
Yeah,
all the bells and whistles got to be checked off until you
yeah,
just go out there, jump in the water, and before you know you swimming. And you're like, oh, I didn't know it was. I thought it was harder than what it is until
yeah,
you start
yeah.
doing it. And it was so crazy. I'm gonna cut your wisdom. You about to say something, right?
No, 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 you good.
Okay, I was thinking about Myron Golden. I mention his name all the time, right? But Myron Golden says something about he never assessed a level of difficulty to things before he start them. And I'm like, that's so ingenious because a lot of times before we start things, we already assess a level of difficulty. That's gonna be hard. That's gonna be easy. This gonna be so. This blah 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 blah. And I learned through myself stop assigning levels of difficulty to things because everything's gonna go through a process of trial and error. Every time you do something for the first time, it's going to be hard. You never done it before.
Yeah, facts.
You know what I'm saying? So what do you expect
Facts.
really? You know what I mean? So it's like small things like that for me, like them gems that you get and the things that you learn through your trial and in your era, and then from being from education to entrepreneurship to being
Yeah,
somebody that's relying on you now. It's a timely thing when it comes to doing the credit because now people looking at okay how you tell a person hey your credit gonna turn around in 30 days 60 days 90 days
yeah,
etc. They looking
yeah,
at that clock because they want something off so they
yeah,
be on your body. I can imagine. How do
yeah.
you deal
What?
with that type of pressure too?
Yo, you just gotta just first you just gotta just you always have to be empathetic at all
Mm,
times. You always gotta be because people giving you their money,
for
their
sure.
information, so you always gotta be empathetic. So and just try to understand why they may be. I don't always like to think people are like being irrational or like tripping or stuff like that. I just like to look at it like maybe this person is uneducated on how this works. 'Cause that's
Correct.
usually what nine
What
times out
it
of
is.
ten it
Yep.
is. A
Yep.
person is like they don't really know how it goes, so they start to get frustrated about what they expect and what they're not getting out of that. So like I just definitely just always just try to just keep in touch with everybody for at least 15 of those days. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Because within that aspect of time, they're going to see some type of reflection, and that comfort is gonna just seep in. But some people know that yo, it takes time.
for sure.
But it's definitely something acquiring to deal with for sure. It's definitely
Wow.
something trying to deal with. But it makes me feel good because I'm being able to help people, and I know it's definitely something expensive. I wanted to do it because it's something that I did. I fixed my own credit. I was learning on
Yeah.
how to do it. I was learning how to do it myself. So once I seen it worked, I was like, okay, all right. So I was kind of boasting and I put it on Instagram. When I did that, that's when people was like, yo, can you do mine? Can you do mine? Can you do mine? Can you do mine? I was just like, man, nah. So I thought about it for a little bit. I started to help a few people and it was working. And I seen people was just, happy about it, bragging about it, referring more people to me. I was like, all right. So
Mm,
I kind of turned it into a business. You know what I mean? So, now that's just something added to like what I got going on. I do so much. Yo, like even before I started to do the credit,
correct.
I got certified as the as being dental assistant.
Oh, hold up. Hold that thought right there. We got a word from our sponsors. We picking up
Or
from the dental assistant. We come right back. Hold us 2 seconds. Word from my sponsors. Peace, beloveds. Thank you for tuning in to the Respectfully Great podcast. I'm your host, Johnny Reed, and I appreciate your continuous support. Do you know that over 80% of the people that watch our channel aren't subscribed? By subscribing to our channel, you give us the opportunity to bring on more guests to add more value to our channel. To join our growing community, head over to respectfullygreat.com, sign up for our email list to get exclusive updates on empowering blogs, as well as the latest and greatest in Respectfully Great fashion. Once again, it's nothing but big love, and we value your commitment. Are we back in? I just had to put that thing out there real quick. I just got it uploaded.
Like that.
Absolutely.
I like that.
Appreciate that, loved one. So we're going to pick up at that dental assistant. Talk about that.
Oh, so yeah, so
Your dental certification.
yeah, I got my dental certification. So I was going to Hampton. I was a biology major, so majority of my classes were just science based. You know what I'm saying? Very,
Correct.
very complex, but they were majority science based and chemistry based. Because I was a biochemistry major because I was a chemistry minor. So um going through that, you have to pick like a track. Like you could do like a research science, or you can do like organismal science or economy, just or environmental, all of that. So I kind of was more focused on um the more personal hands-on things,
I dig it.
So like at first I wanted to do veterinarian.
Mm.
When I was in school, I was kind of like, showing interest to that. I seen that the program wasn't really like, it didn't have that much support, so I didn't really see me going to a good grad school with that. So I switched my track to focus on, all right, I want to be a dentist. Even though we didn't have a sole dentist program, we had people on the campus that had jobs maybe in that field or whatever, like older people that I was getting plugged in with, and I was doing shadow hours. I was shadowing at the pedo with the kids. I was with shadowing adults, like over like 150 hours,
Wow.
just learning the ropes, life of a dental surgeon or whatever.
Absolutely.
So after I had finished all of that, after I finished school, I took a break from that. I was really just punching at the entrepreneurship. I told myself, I was like, yo, like I don't want to like, lose my touch with, what I went to school for. I really want to have something like to fall back on. Yeah, even though I can get in the dentist office, cool, that's all cool, but I need to keep trying to like climb the ladder of that, so
I dig it.
that's when I got my certification to be able to be a dental hygienist or a dental assistant, because I needed that, you know what I'm
For
saying, at
sure.
least, just to have that done while I'm chasing this other thing I'm chasing.
Smart. You had a
So
reserve.
yes,
You had a reserve.
definitely had to,
And
but
it makes, yeah, I'm listening. My bad.
I was gonna say I still have thoughts of definitely taking it further, like going to dental school,
I
like
like that.
like being a nigga that coming in with the white coat that don't
Let's
touch
go.
you. He
Yep.
just coming in, ask you if you smoking and all that shit, and then he leave.
Indeed.
Yeah, yeah, that's the nigga that's bringing the cheese in for real.
Absolutely. See,
Yeah,
what I love too is that you keeping options open, right? You
yeah,
keeping doors open, and a lot of times we close these doors as if we can't do it. We can't do more. A lot of times we talk about serial entrepreneurship. It's getting the one thing down first, which is okay. This is my bread and butter. You got your bread and butter. Because a lot of times, what I've been hearing, what I've been seeing, a lot of times we have things that we want to do, right?
what?
Passionate about, but we have skill sets that we have developed and leveraged in certain areas of our lives for the things that we acquired, for the things that were innate in us when we was born with. So we have certain talents and skill sets that we already have. And a lot of times we don't utilize those things that we already have, and we kind of close that door off because we have a need or a want in another area. And what I'm noticing about you is like, hey, although I want to do X, Y, and Z, and I'm opening up a new chapter, open up a new door, I still have skill sets and leverage that I still can leverage throughout my life to get me
Fact.
to and from. And that's one of the things that you keeping doors open. And I think
Yeah,
that's so
facts.
powerful, because a lot of times we shut these gifts, these leverages off, because there's things that you have gone through your experience, and people feel like, hey, I've done this at this particular time, and
Yeah,
I don't want to, reopen this door because it may require X, Y, and Z, and people feel that they can't do it all. The thing is, I feel like if you know where you want to go and you apply your time in that area, you get you do the thing that you want to do. But initially, that may be the bread and butter for the time being. Okay, I got a 9 to 5 job as well as me do my entrepreneurship, podcast, etc. So what I
Yeah.
do is I utilize my job as a source of income to dump into buying my equipment, buying my
Exactly.
merch, buying blah blah
Exactly.
blah blah. So now I don't have to go out there on an entrepreneurship leg and say this is the end all be all, right? And I say, oh,
Yeah.
you know what? I can utilize the things I already acquired. I went to school for HVAC, so I got my certification in that. I did the EPA, I got my OSHA, I got all these other things credential wise that I utilize to my advantage to say, you know what? Although I'm driving my career, my future in this level of entrepreneurship,
Yeah.
podcasting, being a keynote speaker, doing all these other things. But for the time being, I'm gonna use what I already had that's giving me leverage to pour more money into the things that I see myself doing in the near future. So I think that's powerful because a lot of times people throw away that gift. People think, oh, entrepreneurship is I'm out there all day and the only thing I do is entrepreneurship. You don't have to be um you don't have to just go out there on a limb. I believe that if your business is booming like that, right, and you got you bring in the X amount of dollars, and you can sustain your livelihood, your rent pay, your da da da. You can do all those things by all means. Go out there and do what you need to do. But I learned this too from a guy. He passed almost at like maybe last year or a few months ago. He's from Brooklyn. He was a rapper. His name was Kai. And he had a super big following underground. But the ill thing about him is that he always maintained a job as a fireman.
Word.
So he had the benefits, and they used to ask him like, yo, you can go tour around the world, you do all these other things. He had a super big following. He ended up passing from a heart thing maybe last year or a few months ago. And what I learned from his story was is that he like, although I can do those things, I still make sure that I got other things set up for my children, etc. When it comes to things that I can pass down to them, even through that channel. When it comes to insurances and other policies he set up. So it's
Word.
crazy when people say that they only can do one thing. I watched this man be a world-renowned musician, still
Word.
maintain a job, and I'm like, it's hard to you don't never see really musicians saying I got a 9 to 5 and I rap, or I got a 9 to 5. I mean, we
Yeah.
see it on the level that we are, but people portray as if like they worldwide and that's the only thing
Yeah.
they do.
Or facts. They do. That's a fact, bro. Yeah, that's a fact. Everybody
Yes.
want to think that everybody want to put out there that they're important at some type of that's the type of level, bro. For
Yep.
sure.
Yep,
Yeah,
it's
niggas think
crazy.
that.
It's crazy. But everything is learning curves. The thing I feel too, I think that once you get more familiar with who you are, because I think self-identifying who you are and really
Uh-huh.
getting tuned and tapped in with that, I think that's a real skill set in itself because you'll be able to do things that other people aren't able to do. You'll be able to offer value in areas where other people may not be able to offer value. And what's dope was I was talking to my stepson, and the crazy thing I was just talking to him, and I'm like, um, do you know that you have this possibility that you can make some money right now? He like, what do you mean? And I'm like, well, in my day of coming up before they had the social media, etc., I thought there was only 3 ways to make money. I thought I had to get rich, I thought I had to sell drugs, or I thought I had to hit lotto. One of the
Yeah.
three. I had to sell drugs on the corner. I had to go
Yeah.
hit lotto, or I got
Yeah.
to, just the only ways I felt that I could get rich and
All right.
acquire money. So I
All
was
right.
telling him, I was like, yo, do you know at 12 years old, you can build up a strong following and there are going to be people that want to listen to your story? He's like, what are you talking about? I said, well, listen, his whole life, he went to nothing but Catholic school.
Right.
Now he's in public school. So I said, no, what you can do is you can just get online, go on the internet, create a social media account, whatever, and or even in your school, you could just tell the kids in your school your stories about your experience in Catholic school because I guarantee maybe 90% of the kids that's in that public school never went to Catholic school. So
Facts.
so you got leverage in an area where most people don't have. Most people
Yeah.
just, so I'm like, your experience, your testimony at 12 years old, you got value that that people don't have. That's your leverage. Just right now. And there gonna be so much more areas of your life where you're gonna be able to bring value to yourself. So I wanted to show him, just have the conversation with him to let him know that everybody's story has value. And depending on how you package that thing up, we all can sell our story. Like you have a story I mean, it's still getting written, and it's
Yeah,
still getting
facts.
stitched. But the thing is that from where you have come from to where you are now, from the plethora of advice, the plethora of experiences, from going to school, bio, um,
Yeah.
the list goes on and on. It's just like
Yo.
dental, musician,
Yeah.
clothing, credit.
It's,
Like,
it's
dog, you know
it's
how much
it's a
that's
lot.
packed into that?
It's a lot. It's a lot, bro. It's a lot. And even going to school, I can even add going to school. While I was in school, it was a lot of distractions going on because for damn near a year of me being in school, I was on TV.
Yeah,
So like that
word.
was
That's a whole nother thing. That's they don't even know.
that
They don't
was
even know about that.
that was definitely something that was different. You know what I mean?
True
And
indeed.
it was an experience though. You know, I could say that much. It was an experience.
That's super
So
dope, bro.
yeah,
Let me
bro.
let me ask you, if you were to take all of the things that you experience, is there
Yeah.
something that you have taken that you was there something that you utilized from one experience to another that you carried out through it all? Is there something that you experienced, seen, told, heard, a motto, or something that you ran by to say, you know what, throughout my journey, I'm going to take this with me? Because I know that there's things that we all may experience, right? And there's
Yeah.
some things that we may carry. Some people say, you know what, I got a big why. My why, the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing is because of a void that I was missing, or there was something that, or there was a friend that I made a promise to, or there was a promise that I made to myself. So no matter what transition that you was going through, is there something that you carried out to continue to allow you to get to the next level and the next level and the next level? Is this something that you carried out from like your journey?
I'm definitely big on finishing what you start. I'm definitely like,
Mm,
and I know I don't want to like sound like cliche, but like that's definitely one thing for sure that I'm big on. You know what I mean?
wow.
My mom's definitely big on that. So like, she used to always tell me just like stuff like that. So that's one thing for sure. Shit. Going to college taught me a lot of like time management because
Wow.
that's really all it is. Like, because a
Time
lot of
management.
like class and all of that stuff, like you don't have to be there,
Yeah.
but you know if you want to get the hell up out of there and you want shit to work out, you gotta manage your time that you're given in
Mm-hmm.
the day to get stuff together. And you know it's gonna
Absolutely.
take a lot of like, it's gonna take a lot of trial and error and stuff like
Absolutely.
that. Um, definitely taught me how to prioritize. Definitely. Definitely. The the music, the music honestly taught me something big.
I'm listening.
Taking your emotions out of the business or out of the big picture. You gotta take your emotions out of it because like when you start to get into selling a service or a product or something like that, like we look for the people around us to be our biggest supporters. We look for the people
Ooh.
who we talk to every day.
Yep.
Sometimes we
Yep.
look at our parents or our brothers and sisters, but it's like you have to like take that out of the, you know what I'm saying? Because the people who are taking out time to listen to you or to see what you got going on, those are the people to focus on. Like I tell people
Absolutely.
this all the time, like when I post stories on Instagram, and some people view their stories, see who watch them, some people
Yeah.
don't, but I do. I go all the way to the bottom. The people at the bottom, those are the people who do not follow you. Those people
Mm.
are the people who are going out of their way, clicking on your page, watching your story. Those are the people that I focus on. If I see those people multiple times,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying? I start to push or try to, get their attention or let
Absolutely.
them know that I see them. Like stuff like that. Like I definitely learned that from the music. From the clothes, I could say I've learned the consumer's mind is definitely is definitely is weird. It's definitely
Mm.
weird. Like kind of like okay, say you got a shirt
Correct.
and you want to release it in a few colors. Like, yo, if you give people more than three colors, they might psych themselves out and not buy it. It's like it's weird, but like that's something I've ran into like a lot. I used to like, yo, I used to want like six, seven colors of the same hat. Like, oh nah, that purple one hard, that green one, that red one, that nah, you can't do that. You got to give niggas a black
Yep.
and then two others.
Yep.
That's it. You know what
Yep.
I mean?
It's
Because
so
like
true.
a nigga would definitely psych himself out like, "Yeah, I don't know, I'm gonna just wait." You know what I mean? And
Yep.
like, yeah, trust me,
Yep.
bro. So I've learned a lot from that, and then the credit, like I said, being empathetic, just stuff like that. Like I was taking a couple classes for the dentistry stuff like that. And, like a lot of it was based off emotional intelligence because you got like
Mm.
you working with kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like a lot of like working with kids, like 50% of that is getting the child to trust you
Yeah.
with being in their mouth, messing with their teeth. You know what I'm saying?
For
So you
sure.
gotta do a lot of like things like to comfort them, like let them see the tool, turn it
Yeah.
on, let them play with it, let them, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
talk to them, like just use words like, "Yo, okay, well, what we're gonna do today is like." I learned like when I was shadowing my mentor, like he used to be like, when it comes to a child, we'll always say like, "We're gonna give your teeth a bath today." Like something
Wow.
like that, like because he'll be like, like to that child, it's like, okay, that's cool with me.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
it's weird. I've learned a lot of things doing everything that I do. It's crazy. I can go on and on and on and on, but
That's powerful.
for
I love
sure.
to hear that though because it the jobs, the hats that you wear, it's
Right.
mainly dealing with a lot of psychology.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy that you say that. I didn't even realize that till just now you saying that. But yeah,
Yeah, I'm
for
listening
sure.
to it and I'm like, wow. And a lot of times being able to have that level of discernment, being able to judge, being able to have that level of empathy like you prioritized earlier with and you was just stating that, I think that gives you when you're able to put yourself in someone else's shoes, I think
Word.
that's a gift in itself because a lot of times people can't see beyond themselves. And
Word.
one of the things that I know come from us, we come from loving backgrounds. So the things that we experience a lot of times when it came to a lot of disappointment, of course we dealt with them in family, but
Yeah.
outside of the real world they tell you things because they don't care about you as much, so they're going to tell
Fact.
you things in harsh ways, maybe for your benefit. They may tell you things because they just don't care about you and trying to hurt your feelings. We experience that as well. But being
Facts.
able to
Yeah.
have levels of empathy like you said about, okay, somebody going through something when they with the credit, and understanding that, okay, I've been in those shoes before. I know what it's like to have my credit all torn up, right? So I
Yeah.
went through the process and being able to possess those patience. So you now
Yes.
spoon feeding them like, listen, okay, the constant communication. I know that helps a lot. Just telling people, hey,
Yes.
I'm working on this, that, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And when I say be empathetic, yo, 90% of the people who come to me to fix their credit want to tell me why it's messed up. They want to, and that could take that story could be forever. You know what I'm saying? But I got to deal with it. I'm like,
Got
yo,
to
I'll
deal with
listen
it.
to it. You know what I'm saying? Because 9 times out of 10, I'm like, however you did it, whenever it happened, I can fix it.
Yeah,
But to make, I guess it makes them feel better, like to hear me be like, damn, that's crazy. I
yeah,
can fix it.
yep,
That like it's just
yep.
it's crazy, bro. The human mind is crazy,
It
man.
is wild.
It's so crazy, but that's definitely something I definitely have to talk to people about
What
for sure.
what is one of your along your journey? What is one of the biggest mistakes or one of the mistakes that you have learned from? Like, okay, I learned going through this. I know that in the near future I won't do this. This something that you have learned, that you have gone through and said, okay, I made a mistake, and because I learned the word the other day, right? Serendipity. So the term serendipity was like um having an occurrence, something that happens by chance that end up being favorable to you in the long run. So why I'm asking that question is that although there was a mistake, there was a valuable lesson that y'all learned from that. I want to know
Right.
one of those things, even though you shared a bunch of them. You told me about all these journeys, about, you told me various things that you have taken with you through the music, through the fashion, through the dentistry.
Right.
If there was one thing that you would highlight and say, you know what, this right here was one of those things where, you know, I learned from this. Definitely, this was a big lesson along my journey.
Ooh. Um. All right. Here's one. Here's one I could say,
Yep.
and this goes for I guess anything, folk or anything that you're trying to like get off the ground. Do not focus. Do not focus on being lit. Don't
Mm,
focus on. Don't focus on just the glam and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Because it's gonna take the fun out of it. That's one big mistake that I can say that I made musically,
Yeah.
personally. And I don't even really tell a lot of people that, but it's like at first when I was doing it, it was fun. I was like, yo, this is fun. Like I enjoyed hearing people tell me that. It sounded cool. Like
Yeah.
that was my satisfaction. That made me want to make another song.
Right.
But then it got to the point where I started to like see niggas getting rich. Niggas, I'm thinking niggas is lame. I'm like, there's no way. Like, and I'm just
Mm-hmm.
started to like my whole mindset changed. So everything I was doing was for. I'm like, yo, this one gonna be the one. Like, I'm going viral with this. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I had to like. So I would definitely say that was one big mistake that I made early, and I apply that to everything that I definitely do. You know what I'm saying? Aside from the dentistry thing, what I would attach to that is definitely like you have to keep ultimate focus with that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And like whenever you feel like you don't have any support, or whenever you feel like no one's there with that, you have to just keep going. You
Mm.
know what I mean? Like with that with the schooling, seriously.
I like that.
Yeah.
Remain focused and
Yes.
don't be distracted. Keep going. I think that's one of
Yeah.
the toughest things too, because a lot of times we get discouraged. But like you said, when you don't get that immediate support when your loved ones, your friends and family not supporting, you look around and
Yes.
feel like, man, I'm doing this work. People see me. I think I would get the support. And then necessarily sometimes um a majority of the time you're not gonna get that. It's only so many times that mom and dad gonna purchase your shirt. So it's only a certain amount of
Yeah.
times that friends gonna purchase the shirt. I think
Yeah.
when you go out there and you make a statement in the world and the world start accepting you, once you accept yourself, you good. But I mean, far as like when the work start to show and it reflect, okay, the year, 2 year, 5 year journey
Yeah.
start to actually pay off,
Yeah.
and then other people start recognizing your worth, then I think the people around you will start valuing you a little bit more, because I think a lot of times they don't want to give you that credit as of yet because they feel like,
They don't
well,
believe it.
they don't believe it. Why does he deserve it if he was in the same position I was yesterday? Because they got a relatable factor and they don't want to see that separation. And I think a lot of
Yeah.
times it's for whatever their reason is. A lot of times they don't want you to really, because the thing is, if you go out there and be successful, there's no more excuses that that person can say why they aren't successful, right?
Facts. Niggas just want to be niggas want to feel left out.
Yeah.
Like literally, like that's what it takes for a
Yep.
nigga to step up. Niggas call me and be like, "Oh, yo, I see my man's with yo. He had your jersey on, yo. He had the whole sweatsuit on, yo. I didn't know you knew him, bro. I don't know him.
Yep. He's just a supporter.
Now you want one.
Yep.
You
That's
know what
how it
I'm
works.
saying? It's
Yep.
crazy. Even with the music, especially out here in Atlanta, it'll be a nigga come through, perform his song in the club, but he brought 20 niggas with him. They
Mm-hmm.
all know the words to the song when he
Yep.
performs it. Everyone else in the club, like, yo, why I don't know the word. If it's a good song,
For sure. For
everyone
sure.
else in the club will be like, yo, like, why I don't know this song? They searching it. You know, it's all a facade of
All
feeling.
side. Yep.
Yeah, it's all a facade. You know what I'm saying? It's all crazy. It's like posting like, yo. Hurry up! I got four jerseys left. I got three hats left. You know what I'm saying? We ain't really sold any. Then six niggas hitting you up. It's crazy.
It's
It's
crazy. Yep.
it's crazy,
Yep.
bro.
It's a lot of methods to get the needle moving. Once you learn them, of course, there's plays you can always run in the sense of, tactics of marketing tactics, because there's
Marketing.
things
Yep.
of showing senses of urgency. Those things I seen that work in so many instances. Countdown, they got the clock. You see a lot of times I go on
Countdown.
websites and
Yep.
people got the
Yep.
countdown, and then for people hitting that button. So there's so many marketing things.
Yep.
I think if you're able to create a brand for whatever brand that you create, and you learn marketing, I think you can sell anything to anybody. In the sense of, once you know who you're selling to, you know why you're selling it, you know how to put systems in place to sell. I think that,
Yes.
I'm not saying that things are, I don't think everything is like so easy, but I don't think things are so difficult either. I think once you start identifying who you are, what your product is, what it stands for, if it's a good product, because I focus on quality. That's my number one thing when it comes to
Yeah.
my brand. So when I learned from my first product, same thing. I brought things when it was out of season. I got them produced out of season, still holding on to merch from last season. I've been
Facts.
through those channels and I've
Oh
seen how it
man. Yeah.
affected me. And sometimes I bit off more than I get through. I got 100 pieces of this, 50 of this, and then
Yo.
I'm
Oh my
sitting on a
god.
bunch of inventory and all my money's built up in dead stock. And I'm like, okay, first I'm like, just give it away. But then I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna hold on to it because there's gonna be a day and time where somebody come past.
Yeah.
Once the notoriety start coming up again and the people start being more familiar, I repackage it up and, oh, hey, this is what I got left in the crates. Who want
Yeah.
it? Blah blah blah.
Facts.
And I feel it's gonna sell. But those are some of the things I've learned too over time, that you
It's gonna
know,
happen, bro.
yeah, it's going to boom. The more we keep getting our name out there, the more we keep doing our work, and more we keep building the brand around what you do and who you are. I believe that the success is already there. It's just that packaging it up in the right way and letting people know that you exist is the number one key. And I think that you
Yeah,
doing that and displaying that on so many
for
levels,
sure.
bro.
Media proof. One of my mentors told me like, "Yo, Breeze, like you have media proof that, and that honestly keeps people interested." And I was like, "What you mean?" He was like, "Basically, you have a lot of recognizable faces wearing your
Mm,
shit on your page, so it's basically." He said that's called media proof. Like someone can see that and be like, "Oh, hey, I know this person. I know this person. I've seen these people before. They have this on.
mm.
I feel comfortable shopping with this brand." That's media proof. So that's
That's
he
powerful.
definitely put me onto that.
Yeah, you just told me something. I didn't know that. I didn't even know that term existed. So I you put me on that. That's powerful.
And that's something I always focus on. How you say you focus on quality. Now I'm getting into my quality, but been doing a whole bunch of building my media proof. I guess me
And
being seen with this person, me being seen with this person holding a shirt, or me being out with this person, or me giving this person a shirt and letting them wear it in their video, and you know what I'm saying? Just like I guess just showing the people that I guess I'm trustworthy, a trustworthy brand.
I like that. I
Yeah,
like
for
that.
sure.
Your brand built off trust. I like
Yes,
that. Ooh, I like that.
for
Um,
sure.
before we go, I'm gonna ask you, what is your favorite product that you had created? What is one of your favorite products that you have said, you know what, this one here was special for X, Y, and Z reason. Even though we know you feel that about all of your products, but if you had to single out one product at various, it could be now, could be then. What was something about that product that made you say, you know what, I'm just drawn to this thing because of X, Y, and Z?
All right. I would say the sweatsuits that I dropped
Mm,
because when I made those, that's when I seen a shift in what I had going on with the brand. That's when I started to see a shift. That's when niggas started to call me and tell me like, yo, I'm in the Walmart. I see a nigga with the sweatsuit on. Yo, I'm in this club. I see somebody with a sweatsuit on. I've
yeah,
been out with my mom, seen somebody with it on. I've been out dolo, seen somebody with it on. And like,
yeah.
I gotta be humble and not approach them and tell them that is me. You know what I'm saying? But that was part of the plan. And
Absolutely.
I didn't add this in before. A part of the plan with me doing the clothing brand, I wanted to prove to myself that I could sell something
Mm,
with just my name on it. So therefore, people who don't know what I look like, they don't gotta like me, they don't gotta like my music or whatever, but they see the clothes and they're
dig
gonna
it.
buy that. It's so like it's working, it's working. I can say every 6 months I'll look back on things, pictures, analytics, and can say that, yo, like it's working. Like I see it.
I
You know what I
like
mean?
that.
So I definitely that the sweatsuit was my number one for sure. And it's an everyday wear, it's comfortable, it's stylish, it's still in.
Yeah.
And I can't say it enough. A lot of people be in that sweatsuit, bro.
And that season is coming up. We almost there. Summer phasing
Yo,
out. Spring almost here.
fam,
I mean, fall almost
even in the
here.
summertime, bro, niggas is wearing it, bro. The whole it's crazy.
They still put that. You know what's crazy? Funny you say that. I see people in hoodies and sweatsuits right all
Yo.
day. It's beaming outside. It's hot outside.
Yo, this shit wicked, bro.
It's wicked. It's wicked, dog.
But yeah, definitely, bro.
I'm gonna ask you another question. When it comes to music,
Mhm.
what is your favorite record? What is your favorite record? It could be yours. It could be some from somebody else. What is your favorite
Oh, okay. I
music
thought you was
record?
asking one of mine. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
well, I would. You know what? Do both. I want to hear yours,
Okay.
your favorite record, and let them people know where they can go check it out to
All right,
grab that.
cool.
And
My
then we go.
favorite my favorite record I would say is Daddy by me and my brother Vidal. Sincerely
Mm.
JV. Daddy. You can go find that on all platforms. Just type in Daddy, Sincerely JV. Or you could just type in Shawn Breeze, Daddy. D
How
E
you
A
spell? How
D
you spell? Yeah, spell it for
D
me.
Deady. That's my
Absolutely.
favorite. That's my favorite track we've did.
Powerful.
Um and right now, my favorite song, what I've been listening to a lot. What's the name of it? It's the Friday and Meek.
Oh yeah, they're proud of me.
Proud of Me. That joint crazy.
Ooh, that thing super tough. That thing
Yo,
super
that shit
tough.
got too much build to
Ooh, too much. That thing
it.
right there is wicked. That thing
Yeah,
serious.
I like that joint, bro.
Yeah, that's Fire Absolutely. Um, it's been a pleasure
Yes, for
having you on
sure,
this
for sure,
platform today, my brother.
for
I
sure,
love you
man.
unconditionally. Uh,
Yeah, same here, bro.
I'm ecstatic. I'm happy for um your journey. I can't wait to see where you are in the near future because there's so much that you got going on, and I just feel like the sky is really, really the limit because of who you are as a person. I know that if people haven't seen it through here, they will never know. You're super, super humble, super um you show immense amount of gratitude. You pay it forward. You give the accolades in the areas where they deserve. You humble, transparent. Your brand. We know building that off of trust. We letting people
Uh-huh.
know that listen, this brand right here is stamped because I let people know that I put a lot of time, effort into it, quality. You do a lot, and I just want to give you the flowers in real time, and I want to let people know that there's a brand out there from Breezavelli that he can go out
Uh-huh.
there purchase, cop,
Uh-huh.
is and not only just uh this shit is super stylish, dog. This shit is
Yeah,
like
I
their drip is a
appreciate
whole
it.
nother level. Not I mean, because there's people that have brands and things like cookie cut. I've seen things a million times because we know
Yeah.
everybody get inspiration from one another. I know there's one guy I can't think of his name, but I think the guy that sells the Shaka tees, the Asian dude. But
Oh
there's
yeah,
one
yeah, yeah. Oh, Shockaway. Oh yeah,
Shaka
yeah.
wear.
That's up the street from here. I'll be over there all the time.
That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's right down the street. I'll be getting some of my shirts from there.
Yeah, they get lit. You know, son with the black dude with the boy head. He said, "I steal your
Yeah.
shit." He funny, but I'm saying like the
Yo,
method.
that's what niggas do. They be stealing.
They be, they be stealing the
They be
drip. They
stealing,
take it.
bro. Take it. Put their name on it, bro.
They
It
put
just
their
run with
name
it.
on it. Word is born.
Yeah.
But to see your brand, how it stands in its own lane, creativeness, and just adding so much style and flair to it. I just want to commend you on that. And I know that in the near
I
future, there are
appreciate
gonna
it.
be so many doors that continuously open up for you, as long as you stay on the path and just doing what you're doing. So I'm gonna commend you, give you the flowers in real time, and just let you know, man. Sky's the limit, my brother.
Yeah, I
Um,
appreciate it.
yeah, light work. Before we get out of here, I want you to tell the people where they can find you at.
Oh, definitely. Y'all can find me on Instagram. My personal page is Shawn Breeze, ShawnBreez. The clothing line page is Breezavelli World. That's BreezaVelliWorld for sure. And oh, definitely credit. You need your credit fixed. Definitely, y'all can find me over there at Breeze Boost Credit, BreezeBoostCredit. And you can
Mm,
definitely shop with me on breezavelli.com.
absolutely. If there's one thing that you want to leave our audience with, what would that be?
Hmm. Definitely. Whatever you want to do, yo, is definitely, achievable. Chase your dreams. Don't get caught up with all the stuff that's I would say materialistic. Everything materialistic can be obtained over and over again.
Mm.
So you know what I'm saying? So definitely, keep your eye on the prize and just keep chasing the light at the end of the tunnel, man.
Oh man, powerful. Couldn't say it better, bro. My brother.
Definitely.
Limited love, family. I will see you soon, and
Much
I
love
commend
to
you on
you.
your journey.
Yes, sir. Likewise, bro.
Early, family. Man, that was a powerful, powerful, powerful build. Um, man, so many layers. It's a beautiful thing when we able to have fully transparent individuals come up here and share their story. I think it's commendable. I think it's honorable. I think it shows the character of the person, and I really want to highlight that because there's so many people that impacted me in my life, and I know that we have shared experiences, and I know the type of people that they are, and I want the world to see that as well through any means because I think it's deserving of having good people that do honorable things in real time. So I just want to continuously highlight that. And my brother Shawn Breeze is one of those individuals come from a good stock. You see the work ethic is behind them, educated, disciplined, focused, driven. So many things I can say about my brother. And I just want people to be more familiar. Go shop, go cop the brother brand today. Shop the music. Go check out that record, Daddy. Um, run it up, run the numbers up. Go support. Let them know that. Tap on the page. Let them know that listen, I see you. I support you. You feel me? Go purchase something. Let them know. Just let them know that you see him, man. That's what I want you to do today. It's been a powerful build. I love you guys unconditionally. Also, you go shop at respectfullygreat.com. If you haven't, like, share, subscribe. Also, go to YouTube at Respectfully Great right now. at some given time, if you are liking the content that we are putting up, just subscribe. That's free. But what you do is you allow us to have more of an algorithm to bring more people, like-minded individuals together. Like we all are synced by the hip, and I want that to be a prevalent thing throughout our journey. So I thank you for showing up in real time. I appreciate everything that you do, and we'll be here again next Thursday doing what we normally do, showing up in real time, learning and growing through our journeys, our testimonies. So I thank you, and I will see you soon. Respectfully.